All right, we have an emergency roundtable of coaches assembled because I played in a tournament this weekend, and I didn't assemble them because I did so good. I've assembled them because I did not do so good. Gentlemen, I went out there this weekend in the club championship. I was very excited about. Been playing well, quite well, and shot 83, 82 back-to-back days, which isn't very good for me. You guys have seen me play before and hit golf balls. And so I just wanted to have a chat with you about why did I snap hook every single driver and lose 9 golf balls? That's all. Any answers?
So you did not golf well?
And that's the episode for today. And thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
So the
How
show
does this happen?
Well, can we get post-mortem with some questions going in? Because I think that's probably helpful. So what have you been working on and how has it been going in practice? What have your numbers been? And if you guessed what happened in terms of club path and face and maybe your mechanics, what do you think happened?
So I've been playing good. My tournaments, I've been playing mediocre, but still shooting okay. I think I've shot between 74, 75, and 78 this year in like tournament rounds.
What's the ball flight like?
Ball flight, it's drawing.
Okay.
Is my new, that's this season. It's Justin, because I've been working on my swing.
I hope that's why, and it's not because you really extend more. But
Well, let me tell you what happens though during tournaments sometimes is I feel things happening in my body and in my club that are not normal. Is I feel my hips racing towards the golf ball. I feel the shaft going almost vertical and the toe of the club flipping over dramatically as I hit it. And there's literally nothing I can do about it.
I finished answering Luke's question.
Yeah, okay.
So you kind of did right there. You're getting more inside out. You're hitting the toe. You're flipping. You're feeling a lot of early extension.
But I'm flushing it though. I played the 2 days before this week and was I played worst ball golf the day before with my kids and I shot like 2 over on worst ball golf and it was just hammering it.
Mm-hmm.
So your environment changed, right?
It did.
So Luke can probably speak to the science side, but when there is nerves, anxiety, pressure, like what do you think happens? Do we go back to the things that we just practiced yesterday, or do we go back to the most dominant pattern that we have?
I'm going to say we go back to our primordial.
Primordial.
The childhood golf swing.
I'm just going to share a screen real quick and say, here's the map. Here was Cordie trying to play performance golf. And he went to the danger zone.
I just couldn't do anything though. It was, I don't know. I mean, what do you do in that situation?
So I think we should let Will jump in and talk about it because he's got some background on this stuff.
I don't know. I want to hear what you guys are saying. I want to hear what you guys are.
Cordie, do you want to introduce any of us quick?
This is Cordie and his dysfunctional early extension show. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that is. This is a common comment that we get on the podcast. Welcome. This is going to go on my bottom left. We have Justin Kraft. Top left, we have Will Robbins. Top right, we have the good Dr. Luke Benoit. And top right up there. Okay, those are our guests for our roundtable. Thank you, Justin, for bringing it. And I have, Will, I don't tell you that I work on my golf swing, but I do work on my golf swing with Justin and Luke.
Absolutely, you should do.
They then say that they don't work with me because they don't want to take any credit for anything.
Absolutely. That's a good disclaimer, guys. I'm glad you signed that because you do want to ruin your career because of Cordie.
The goat humping we just cannot stand for anymore, Cordie.
No. Well, like, okay, how do you get out of this? Because I do this every summer where I will go and I have a tournament where I cannot get off the tee box and I am the best driver of the golf ball.
As shown by the results, yeah, you're the best driver of the golf ball. Yeah, yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, when you're playing with your wonderful children at your home course, you are a great driver of the ball.
So I think the first thing is, how does your psychology seem to change? Where is your mind at when it matters more? Does it feel different to you? Because there is clearly a difference in performance when it ramped up.
Yeah, when I get under stress, I'm really trying. Like I'm trying to like, okay, we're gonna go here. I'm gonna like actually turn and get deep, and then I'm trying to like, can I like?
So are you
can I
trying
not?
to do that on hole 7?
I'm thinking, yeah, I have
That's
to.
a
What else am I-
terrible idea.
I mean, I brought up the map. That's literally why would you load with a lot of internal cues while you're trying to play golf? Like you can
Like
maybe
you need, if you're just trying to get depth and less laid off, you need like a rehearsal that feels that. And then you need to say, okay, it's the right side of that tree. Do your rehearsal, walk in right side of that tree and hit it as hard as you can. Like you should, I don't, at least that's, you guys, you got 2 experts here that are more in tune with the subject than me. But like, I can't tell you the last time I had a lot of swing thoughts in a tournament and played well.
let me give you you got the bucket analogy, right? So you got the bucket and these are all your swing thoughts. Lay off, big turn, get them all dialed. The thing is full, right? And that works on a Tuesday with your kids when there's no stakes. Now you're adding, you care about the result. And that is a really big change. So then the entire thing falls apart.
I like that. That was very good. And we're not supposed to fill the bucket. Sorry, I just want to make sure.
I mean, when you're on the golf course, you want to keep the bucket as empty from swing thoughts as you can because you don't know what's going to come at you. So the empty bucket on the golf course and training with a mindset of I'm going to deal with what I've got. And if it gets rainy or windy, I've got the skills to deal with this is better than having a full bucket with mechanical thoughts when you go play. There's no, like talking to who I think would be some of the smartest psychologists in the world, they would say, would there be any reason for an athlete to need a lot of swing thoughts on the golf course in any sport? Like, should we be loading our brain with that, or do we want to just be reacting in playing golf? Would be the psychology, right?
Yeah. But I've been feeling like the pattern that I need to play good golf, I can't, it's just not there on if I have no swing thoughts. Like I have to do something to feel it.
Yeah. And that's where you texted, I was like, can you just aim left and hit cuts? Because I think that's where your attentional load might work on the golf course. Going into it, did you do enough transfer training? Or
Yeah, that's going to be the question. Did you do any draws and fades on purpose? Did you do any maybe even strike location practice on purpose so that you had skills to draw upon when the 5th ball hit the toe and you snap hooked it out of bounds?
No.
You know what you could have done? You could have just heel cut them out there the rest of the tournament, but you just stayed stubborn and kept smoking them off the toe.
I assume you tried to hit some cuts, right?
The second day I did, and I hit a couple really nice drives that way.
But they were push cuts. You had to aim way left. Is that kind of where it went?
Yeah. But I was hitting it so good the last few days.
Yeah, but
That's
you're in
why I
a
had to
different
stick with
arena. It doesn't matter.
It might pop up though, like that might show up.
Right. Well,
with enough
we talked
freedom.
about how many competitive rounds do you need to play so you can see competitively what's going to show up, right? Because if you've been working on your swing and you're not getting out there, it's going to be a little different. Again, the bucket's different.
Will, why are you so quiet over there? You haven't said.
Just enjoying. I'm enjoying listening to your delusion, Cordie. I love you. No, I think the guys are spot on. I think a couple things that come to mind though are realistically in tournaments, let's say right now you're maybe a 6 handicap or a 5, do you reckon? Like if you shoot 82, 83, 78, 77, 76, it's probably a 6 handicap.
Ouch.
No, but I'm just asking. I don't know. I might be wrong, but like that's about a 6 handicap. Right?
No, yeah.
Okay. So I think you've got to look at the benchmark to start with, which is realistically, yeah, you could shoot 71 when you play on your own or with your friends or in a skins game, but realistically right now you're handicap 6, so you've got to give yourself a little bit of a break. So you've got to start to understand like that's really your potential is to shoot 79, 78. Now you strike the ball well enough and you hit it further enough that you could shoot 66. But the thing is, you don't know how to score effectively right now. So most juniors are going to learn the game hitting it very short and learn how to keep the ball in play and learn how to score and build into length, whereas you've just got a ton of length right now and you're sort of just trying to play that to as if you have a good core strategy. Because to me, it's like, and I've told you this many times, if I was you in a tournament, as the boys said, like you're not prepped for it, I'm taking 3-iron off the tee. You hit 3-iron like 260 yards. Like you could shoot 75 blindfolded in a tournament at your golf course if you took driver and 3-wood out. I'm not saying that's the strategy, but on the first 3 to 4 or 5 holes, while you figure out and calibrate your game and feel the tension and feel like, oh, that was a bit of a toe hook. Yeah, but it's a 3-iron. It's in the rough on the left. It's not in Mr. Smith's house. So to me, I think you've got to look at everything the boys are saying. I mean, you got to, how are you training beforehand? But to me, I really don't think it's got much to do with technique. I just think it's got to do with under tension. Your technique comes back, the problems come back, but it's not a technique problem, because if you can do it, a technique problem is you can't do it on the range, you can't do it in the lesson, you cannot do it on the golf course in a pressure. You can do it every time except for when you need it, which means it hasn't been trained enough to come out. So how do you make it simpler? Don't take a driver for a while, put a ball in play, shoot a couple 73, 74s, and maybe after 5 or 6 holes, you pumped some nice 3-irons or 2-irons or driving irons out there. Then pull out a driver and bomb it. And you toe hook it a little bit, but don't worry, it's the hole where the 7th fairway is on the left, so you can go back in the 7th and play over the trees. So I think a lot of it is a lack of course knowledge, strategy, and playing a game like you shoot 66 when actually you shoot 78.
I do want to. I can just point this out. These are my putting stats for when I shot 83. I was better than a tour pro with the putter. Just want to point that out. Short game dial.
Is it a compliment or an insult?
So you hit
83 putting it like
an 8. Is what you're saying.
Exactly. So what you're saying is, when there's absolutely no pressure on, I can putt well. Great, good job.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Lab Putters.
Oh my God. Yeah,
But I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, if I caddy for you, Cordie, if all of us caddy for you, there's no way I'm letting you take driver on the first hole at your course.
Where are you playing? Kirby?
At his own course. It's a 530 yard par 5, 540 maybe off the tips, 550 is it?
Yeah.
He could hit 5-iron chip onto this, or 5-iron sand wedge, lob wedge onto this green. And not having played a ton of tournaments, like, you've got to expect that when you go into these first few holes, things aren't going to feel the same, and the swing's going to feel different, and the ball's going to be different. But then you can calibrate and work your way into a round. But you're starting off in 5th gear trying to bomb a 340 drive. It doesn't work, and the scores are showing you that. All of your scores come from lost golf balls, penalties. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. It's all doubles. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So number one it's not about, as Justin was saying, early extension. It's put a 3-iron in play. Once you do that, you can do that consistently. Can you put a 5-wood in play or a 3-wood in play? Now, you still got to be off the golf course, working like crazy on your technique and make sure it gets ingrained more. And then, going out and playing worst ball golf and training hard and transferring these skill sets. But right now, you do not have those skill sets on a golf course. So why are you bringing them out? Like, you cannot ski in powder and you're going to the top of the mountain, powder in trees. I'm like, it's going to be a painful journey down. Whereas if you were just skiing down on a blue run, you get to the bottom of that, was a lot of fun. I shot a effortless 73. Well, you do that 2 or 3 times, and then you realize you can put the gas on a little bit. You can start to press the gas a little bit more because your scoring ability is getting better. And then if you're doing the work off the golf course, training and developing the body with the foam balls and medicine balls and all the stuff you do, like, then yes, it will sync up some. But you got to learn to score first. That's keep the ball in play at all costs.
Training with all the balls, the medicine balls, the foam ones, the real ones. It's great advice. Okay, but I would argue though that doing that strategy though, Will, is going to put way too much pressure on the approach game. And like I felt it a little bit because I did like pull back on the second day, and it was like I had like longer irons into everything and missed a few greens because of that. Okay.
So who cares? You make 4 bogeys, you make 2 birdies, you shoot a 74, and you come in and go shot a 74 with a 4-iron off every tee box. Like, it's not victory. It's a step in the right direction. You shot lower than you did with a driver. And then you've got to develop being able to put a 3-wood in play and then a driver in play. But when do you pull a driver out and when do you not pull a driver out? Like, that's scoring. That is it. That's it. That's scoring. It's like, we're not tour players.
What do you think, Luke, about this? This is...
I'm a little bit of like, I've seen you drive it and I think you drive it well. Generally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now, Summerby is unique because, like, to Will's point, there's a lot of 2-stroke penalties if you don't drive it well. And so I think you have to say, well, do I have literally a transfer problem? Is driver really broken? In this situation, it's maybe not as much of a play. I still think you need to lean on your strength when there is any sort of openness, but you probably can club down a little bit at times. I also think you need to, again, stop thinking so much on the golf course and on the range, getting rid of feeling like you need mechanical cues to play golf. Like I would love
So
on those.
Cordie, when you're playing with your kids, do you drive it well? Like you're just in the cart, it's 7:30, okay, and they're throwing Skittles at you and yelling, and you're playing Disney music and stuff. Like, are you really thinking about your swing that hard when you're out there with them, or are they distracting you and like you're just trying not to hit your kids with your club and then hit the ball? Okay, let's go back.
I have some cute, like I'm trying to feel like I'm getting it deeper, not laying it off.
Okay, let's get to the question. Well, the question Justin is asking, Justin, ask in a slightly different way. When you played 18 holes in 54 minutes and shot 75, were you thinking about your golf swing a lot?
No, and I wished I was playing speed golf.
Oh, that's what Justin's trying to get at. As in, like you're better when you don't think.
Yeah.
Target, not technique. Target, not technique.
The speed golf is telling. It's very telling. You can play without thinking, but you don't practice without thinking.
No. So maybe that's just a mental block I've had. So you're saying transfer practice should be the same way of no mechanical thoughts while that
play
kind of
18 holes in your head on the range, switching targets, not thinking about your mechanics, and then you will see a pretty similar transfer. Of course, it's not the same, but it's closer than what you would get.
So, but I think it would be interesting. Sorry, go ahead, Will.
No, you got it.
I think it would be interesting to know, like, if we could get into Cordie's mind and have him hold the image of the target while he makes a swing, how good he would play. I have a screenshot from one of my mentors, Jeff Smith. What is the best target you can pick? It's the one your brain can hold. Image decay occurs in 3 to 5 seconds. The brain wants high contrast targets. So if you can pick a high contrast target and hold that image, and from last look to trigger being pulled is 3 to 5 seconds, I think you would play better golf in tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Fox, right? I mean, he just knew if he slowed down that day, he was going to lose the Open. So he just kept his speed. You know, that's how he plays. Now, it's not that everybody plays that way, Cordie, but that's how he plays his best. And I think that's for you is, I would even say, Luke, for what you were saying is get on the range, pick those shots, but also have, hey, I've got to hit, let's say, 9 drivers in between this 25-yard wide fairway. And if I don't, what's the penalty? Now, for some, from high schools, they go do lunges and push-ups and we have some fun with it. It may be for you, I know you have to go home and do the dishes. But, like, I mean, you've got to have an expectation and set high expectations in training, right? And if I don't get 10 in a row or don't get 8 out of 10, then I keep going until I do it. I mean, that's what you hear about every single famous golfer. Tom Watson he wouldn't come into dinner until he held 3 bunker shots. You know what I mean? It's like they set unrealistic expectations in training so they could train hard and then play easy because they're like, well, I've done all the work. Like, it's what I always say. You look at the military in the United States, you look at the Marines, and you start to look at how they train. I always remember in that ODark 30, right, when they went and took out Obama and the stealth helicopter went down, and you're like, holy smokes, like that must have been a really scary moment when a stealth helicopter goes down. And they're like, oh no, we trained for both of them to go down. You're like, what? It's like, we trained for both helicopters to go down. So we were actually doing great when only one went. You see, I mean, the difference is it's harder for them in training than they are actually going to be in real life. And I think that's the mentality of most practice it's just poor practice. It's just technique, block practice, hitting golf balls, trying to get into a rhythm, and you might find it. And you go to a golf course, you have to have one shot with a group behind you and OB on the left and a scorecard in your hand and thoughts about what you want to shoot and 5 swing thoughts. And it's like, yeah, good luck. That's 83 all day.
I mean, I might have had a little bit of a mini breakthrough here, just thinking about I never practice without a lot of mechanical thoughts. I'm always thinking.
And most tour pros, I think, are super guilty of this. Like, they're on the range working mechanics. And then some of them are really good about switching it off when they're on the golf course, but you have to switch it off on the range, seeing shots, as Will says, making practice really hard and uncomfortable. And here's a really interesting thing. Like, if you go to the range and let's say you find a mechanical golfer like Cordie, and you're like, okay, I'm going to bet you $100 to get 10 balls in a row within X. How much will they be thinking? They will stop thinking for the most part because the demand of the task makes them, slide basically on the map. And so when you go transfer train and you literally like, I got to go put a number up and this is what I'm doing today and I got to go put it on a spreadsheet, you will stop thinking so much.
But I don't want to go back to the bad pattern though. I mean, that's why I don't like.
Well, that's not the time to practice it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's such a great conversation, though, guys, isn't it? I mean, it's such a great conversation because I think for us as coaches is that it's golf is taught so poorly. In the beginning, it's just technique, technique. I don't care what your thought is. You have to get some better technique because your path is horrible, your face is horrible, your grip's horrible. Like, I can't have you visualize the shot because you have no capability of hitting it. But as you get better, you have to understand that you have to stop letting go of technique, but you do need to still hit the gym if you're in the NFL. But we're not going to try and think about throwing a ball or catching a ball and think about it if you're in the NFL, but you're in the gym 16 hours a week and you're out on the training field 20 hours a week and you're watching video 10 hours a week.
We did a YouTube video about this, and I reference this all the time for people who are like, I don't know how to practice. We talked about the Steph Curry analogy. I don't know for sure, but I bet every day Steph Curry does like 3 minutes of form shooting, right? From 2 feet away, make sure his elbow's under his wrist and his 90, whatever, last 2 fingers, you name it. He's working on technique. And then he gets in the gold medal game and he's got 2 7-footers charging at him, down 2 with 14 seconds left. And he's hitting a fall away 34-footer. His form looks nothing like it does when he's doing his form shooting. All he's thinking is ball, hoop, gold medal. And he makes it, right? So it's like, you got to learn to be Steph Curry a little bit when you get on the golf course. Quit form shooting. You did that. Like, you did that your first 5 minutes of the day. Go make the basket. Like, make the ball go in the hoop.
And Justin, look, a question for you guys. I find with my players, the better my players get, the more they think technique is the solution. But you look at their swings and they're just beautiful ball strikers and they go and shoot 79s and 80s and you're looking at them hit the ball and they keep thinking, if my technique was this much better, I'd be there. It's almost, you get more delusional the closer to scratch you get. In my opinion, with the students that I have, they think the answer is my technique's not good enough. And they're not looking at how poor their strategy is, how poorly they handle tension, how much they think about their golf swing. Like they haven't been taught that. And I don't think it's their fault. I just think golf isn't taught particularly well as far as scoring in tournaments.
I think you can put a name on it. It's called the competence trap. They got better doing mechanics, and they got better specifically from an age of 12 to 20 or 12 to 22 improving mechanics, and they got much better at ball striking, and they believe that's the answer. And they need to go spend some time with you, Will, and like learn how to transfer train and learn how to be a baller. And like, if Jack Nicklaus can win 18 majors early extending, Cordie, you can be a 0 in a tournament.
Oh man, wow. That's inspirational. Boy.
I wanted to get burned a little bit.
I know, absolutely.
This is a 12-step program for Cordie. I mean, step 1, you got to be honest, right? You got to be honest.
This is how desperate I am, is I'm willing to do a public chat just to show that I'm an idiot. Because I really
Cordie,
do want to get better.
There are so many people listening and watching and following golf well because of this because you're willing to say what a lot of golf pros aren't willing to say, which is, even if your technique is really good, you can still score terribly.
Yes.
Because it's going to come down to how you train and all the stuff it's all the stuff that's done in the dark that shows up in the light, right? So if you haven't trained well, you'll play terrible. But it's the disciplines and the routines and the not, I'll change my putting stroke because of this. I'll go to a new putter. I'll grab a new wedge. I'll get fitted for a new ball. It's like, no, I'll just keep doing my 10 in a row from 4 feet every single day. And I've done it for 3 years and I just know I'm not going to miss a 4-footer. And if I do, it's just golf, move on, go to the next one. Like, the competency level becomes so high under pressure. And so I think is what everyone needs to be hearing. And I wish, I'm sure you and Justin agree, I wish this is what they were talking about in Golf Digest. I wish they were talking about this on YouTube. I wish they were talking about it on the Golf Channel. But remember when Jackson Corbin wins, and that night, their whole conversation was about his footwork. I mean, hold on. He's 21 years old. He just stared down Scotty Scheffler in the face, and you're going to talk about his footwork? Shut up. What are you talking about? How did he think in his head and handle the emotions and pressure? Why weren't they asking questions about, what did you focus on? You obviously stepped to your routine. How did you get this strength? They want to just chirp about golf swing and where his footwork is. And you're missing the whole point of how good these young men and women are mentally and emotionally to handle pressure that far exceeds what they should be able to do at their age.
People love to talk biomechanics and golf swings, and they don't want to talk about this stuff at all.
That's what we do on this show, is we'd kind of look at golf swings and mechanics and stuff, Will. So thanks for coming on. And this is kind of what we adjust Luke, because it's kind of what this is our thing that we've been doing. So are we supposed to should we just not do it? No. Well, no, I agree with you, but there's also this little thing in my brain that's like, I hit it like shit because I have super high handle and I couldn't time it up that day. So if I only didn't do that and I had to get a little better control of that, like I have a better chance next year to go better.
But negates the sentence prior. And second of all, go on tour and tell me how many golf swings that you'd look at, which you love, you'd have, and they'll be on the tour for 1 year. They're all the same. They're all the same swings, and they all look amazing and they're great. Look, how has Ludwig not won 10 times already? Right? How is he not? But Scotty's 121. I mean, you wouldn't take Scotty. And someone will say how Scotty's swing is also good. Yeah, he can repeat a ball flight. That's all it's about. He can repeat a ball flight. It's not about what his swing looks like. It's he can repeat a ball flight and he knows how to win under pressure. So every week you can go on the what's it called tour, the Corn Ferry Tour, and go and look at swings that are beautiful. But would you take, I mean, look at some of the swings that you could take that you would say probably Ian Poulter. It's not like you would take his swing behind it, flips at it like this. Yeah, a guy's pretty good under the hardest pressure in the world, which is the Ryder Cup. Everyone admits the biggest pressure in the world, and the guy played better under pressure than not. Why? Because his swing was so good? No, because he trained for it. And so you got to get away. You're answering questions as if you have the answer. And you've got 3 world-class coaches, sorry, 2, and then me, because I'm tied 50th in the Golf Digest, as a heads up, everyone.
Yeah, T50.
Is that you're saying, but no, it's different. And we're all saying to you, it's not. Go and have the ugliest swing you can possibly have. Bruce Litsky, Jim Furyk, Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth, all these swings that are like, you wouldn't want it. But I'd love the checkbook that they have.
I would say between 2 golfers, you take golfer A, who is homemade, has an ugly swing. Then you got the guy who's been working on it for 10 years and it looks really pretty. And they're both zeros. Who's going to win in a tournament every single time? Every single time, the ugly swing's going to win.
Justin, can you be on my side at all? That if I
can't be on your side on this one.
Well done.
I actually want to further their point. You putted really well, right? What was your putting stroke swing thought?
Nothing.
Okay. So here's the ball. It's going to break probably 3 inches. I got to aim at this blade of grass. Go. And you putted awesome. You putted better than a tour player. What does that tell you about swing thoughts when you're competing? Probably not the answer for you.
But Cordie's
so, no, I'm just going to pile on, pal.
Mechanics were good, and so he could trust it. So his putting mechanics were good. Therefore, it'll work.
Thank you.
So at what point is your swing good enough for you to trust it? Like, I guess that's the question you're looking for.
Boy, that is $1 million question. Well, it's not $1 million because I'm never going to make that much playing golf. But it's a question I'd like to find out.
So if we can show you swings if we went to that tournament and we saw 3 swings that were way worse than yours mechanically that whooped your butt, would you then buy in and say, okay, maybe it's not all about what it looks like? I want it to look good and I'll work on it, but it's not the end all be all.
Yeah. Yep.
Luke, you have a term for this in the book. Is it the engineer?
I mean, yes, it's the engineer, and it's being able to just understand that, of course, it's not perfect, but I got to play with what I have, and I'm just going to embrace the science. Like a good engineer, somebody who maybe they want their swing to look perfect, but they can follow the plan, can be like, I just got to go do this transfer training, and on the golf course, I'm not going to think very much, and I'm going to have what I have, and I can play to a 0 or I can play to a +5 this way. Like, you can be quite good. Remember the guy that won the Mississippi State? We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
You can be so good with a bad golf swing, and we need to have more people realize that. And that's why Will is doing a good job educating them.
Okay. It was fun. Any parting thoughts? I hopefully people there will resonate with some of what I'm saying here. I played it up a bit because I wanted I think there's probably a lot of people in my case that get very frustrated at they're stuck at their skill band and they know they want to get better.
But I think it's a good conversation because it's like, I'll have people tell me all the time, I'm not going to work on, Justin, I know you want me to practice like hitting draws and fades and the toe and the heel. And I know you want me to go play, but until I get this elbow thing, I'm not going to do that. And that's just the wrong approach. It's just because we don't know if that's going to take you a week, a month, a year. So you need to be able to play with what you have. Go practice your skills. You can do that in a separate bubble from your technique. Don't just, I'm going to work on my golf swing till it's good. Until what? It looks like Adam Scott and you swing at 123? No.
Well, and then
it's
the point
kind of like the Hidon.
I was going to say the point with that is, so Adam's got, shoot 68 at the US Open, looks the best he's ever hit it on Saturday. and then shoots 80 on Sunday. You're trying to tell me that if your swing was as good as Adam Scott's, then you can shoot 80 on a Sunday. And he played this. I mean, he played the best. It's unbelievable how good he played a year before last in the final, in the Saturday round, and then played the worst round ever. So even if your swing's that good, you can still shoot 80. And I think the thing that I'd say, Cordie, is if you looked at it as a business, it would just be like everybody's chasing after revenue, but successful people chase after profit. Because you could do $1 million in revenue and have a $1 expense and make $999,000, or you could do $1 million in revenue and spend $2 million and be bankrupt. So you've got to look at profit. Score is profit, and so many of us are looking at the vanity of revenue rather than the sanity of profit. And that, to me, is like you've got to retrain yourself to think score is all that matters in a tournament. When training and developing a skill, all that matters is a skill. When transferring a skill, all that matters is transferring so it works under pressure. So it's like you've got to compartmentalize each part of the business in the golf game to make it work. Because if you're not doing it that way, it doesn't all flow together.
Justin's light bulb's he finally got it. He's going to use that revenue profit thing.
Dude, that was such a good analogy. You have so many analogies, Will.
This is good. Well, I guess, okay, Justin and Luke, you guys spend your time working on golf swing technique. Then can you go in a lane of like justify working on the technique then, or improving that a little bit, or could you convince Will that, hey, we do need to get the technique better here? Or like, how do you
hey, don't bring me into this, Cordie. I don't need any convincing. We're all saying to you, your technique is plenty good enough to shoot 72. Plenty good enough, but we're not a driver at a tight golf course. That's what we're saying is, when it's a technique problem, fix it. When you stripe it and say, I have high expectations because I'm playing really well and I'm hitting the ball so good and I shot this score, and then you snap hook it and lose 9 golf balls, it obviously wasn't a technique problem because your technique was great because you were striping it. We're all just saying right now you have a tension problem from overthinking. If you were saying I'm slicing one and snap hooking another and I did it the week before and the week of, well, then your technique sucks. Work on technique. But that's not what you're telling us. You're saying I overthink, right? I'm thinking swing the whole time. You play way too aggressive, and then you have tons of expectations, and you wonder why you're playing poorly. That's all to do with something very different than swing technique.
Well, you only ever say the same thing to me, and I refuse to listen to it, and I keep doing the same thing over and over again. So there's no way that it could be right.
You would think that speed golf would have been like an
epiphany.
Yeah. I know the speed golf, like genuinely, this is the first time I've played score golf since speed golf. I was desperate to get back to play speed golf. That was like the best thing for me ever. Like I just wish that I could have just taken off and started running and hitting shots. Like I can't tell you.
Use that as a moment to understand what really matters, which is see target, hit target a little bit.
Yeah. Do you guys Okay, I want to end on this though. I do want an argument for like working on technique.
Good technique makes that easier to do. Yes.
We talk about this every week of like working on the golf swing. So why do we do it?
We work on it to make your access to your skills easier and easily like transferable, and make it easier for you to control the face, the path, and the contact. That is it.
Very good.
Like if a guy has a gross swing and he can draw it, fade it, hit it high, hit it low, he's awesome under pressure. I just, unless you're trying to solve a problem, right? Like Will was saying, if you kept snap hooking it leading up to the tournament, and then you got in the tournament, you snap hooked it. Okay, Cordie, we got a face to path issue. Like this is a golf swing problem. Okay, but you were striping it on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you played like crap Thursday, Friday. So like, do you think you changed your grip, or like? I don't think so. Probably not.
I was between rounds adjusting my grip, trying to make it weaker.
Oh.
Correct. Yeah, that is right. I did attempt that. Anyways,
I'm glad you didn't just keep doing the same thing, but yeah. You need to do more driver practice where you intentionally change nothing but your intention to miss right and left on purpose. That's a really helpful one, because everybody goes to the range and they're like, oh, I'll fit it in my fairway and I'll just see how many I miss right, left. Intentionally miss will give you a tool that will help.
That's a great one. I like that a lot. That's really good. Oh, we've got Will again here.
So while I was gone, you didn't then just change like, guys, you just got to work on technique, right? That's it. You didn't convince both of them to be like, yeah, you actually have to take technique from, don't say it in front of Will though.
No, Justin had a great line actually, which explained it well. So that was fantastic. Great job, Justin. Gentlemen, this is great. Thank you for counseling me around here. I did actually have a legit epiphany that I might practice with too many swing thoughts. So call me crazy.
And that doesn't mean all of your practices with no swing thoughts. Does anyone else feel like Cordie is one extreme to the other? You ever meet in the middle here?
Well, he's the only guy that I know that goes into his living room with his 3-year-old child around and tries to swing at 139 miles an hour. So
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
yeah, guys, this
fun
is great.
podcast.
Thank you so much, Cordie, for being on. Justin, it's always a pleasure. And Luke, great to hear listen to you guys and
Good
learn
man,
from you.
Will.
And yeah, I think it's really cool stuff what you're doing, Cordie, and you're willing to get vulnerable and share it. And I think a lot of people relate and just realize they're in exactly the same place that you're at, and they need to start trusting. Target trust.
They heard all this and they just hit that unsubscribe, and they're not really interested in hearing anything more going forward. So, all right, guys. Adios.
All right.
Thank you. See ya.